Dwight Yoakam finally tells the truth about Sharon Stone when he is 69 years old. Dwight David Yoakam was born in Pikeville, Kentucky on October 23, 1956. He was born in Ohio and grew up there. Yoakam learned about the rich traditions of honky-tonk and bluegrass when he was young, which shaped the way he makes music. Stars of country music like Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, and Buck Owens were very important to him from a very young age. At the same time, he liked the wild side of rock and roll. His new style was a mix of modern rock sounds and old-fashioned country twang. It came from these different sources of inspiration. It set him apart from other Nashville artists in the 1980s. Yoakam moved to Los Angeles in the late 1970s, but country music wasn't popular there at the time. He felt free to be creative there, though, and played in bars with rock and punk bands like X and the Blasters. Yoakam's early shows became famous right away for their pure emotion, unique vocals, and honesty. His big break came when his first record, Guitars, Cadillacs, etc., came out in 1986. It was a big deal in the neo-traditional country scene. Hits from the record like Honky Tonk Man and Guitars, Cadillacs showed how he could update old-fashioned country themes. It was a time when polished pop country was becoming popular, and both fans and critics praised him as a breath of fresh air and a voice for the old sound. When Dwight Yoakam released album after album in the late 1980s and early 1990s, his career took off. Each album had catchy beats and sad stories. He made a name for himself as a great songwriter and mood master with records like Hillbilly Deluxe, 1987, Buenas Noches from a Lonely Room, 1988, and This Time, 1993. The creepy original, Ain't That Lonely Yet, and Elvis Presley's Suspicious Minds that he sang. Rock and country music fans of all ages came together to see how deep and wide he was. Yoakam's voice became as recognizable as his low-slung Stetson hat, tight jeans, and cowboy boots. They showed how individualistic he was while also showing how much he respected custom. Dwight Yoakam showed how versatile he was by being a very good actor in addition to being a great musician. He played lead roles in several movies, including Sling Blade 1996, for which he was praised for how scary he was as the evil Doyle Hargraves. He also played the lead in the movies Panic Room 2002, The Newton Boys 1998, and Crank 2006, showing that he could handle both important and funny roles. In Hollywood, he was seen as a real actor, not just a musician who switched to acting because he had so much natural fire and charisma. Over the years, Yoakam has stayed committed to both coming up with new ideas and keeping true to the basics of country music. His record Population Me from 2003 and later works like Three Pairs, 2012, and Secondhand Heart, 2015, show that he never lost touch with his artistic roots. Creatively, critics especially liked Three Pairs because it took risks and had a new energy that made people who had heard it before and people who had never heard it before like it. Yoakam's work with artists like Beck and Michelle Branch shows that he is open to mixing styles while still being true to himself as a country performer. Along with what he has done, Dwight Yoakam will be remembered for being honest and always following his artistic vision. He brought traditional country music back to the forefront at a time when popular music styles would have made it less important. Many modern artists say he was one of the first to work in the alt-country and neo-traditionalist styles, and you can hear his impact in their work. He was not only a performer, but also a real work of art. He bridged the gap between the swagger of rock and roll and the rough edges of honky-tonk. The timeless sound and charismatic stage personality of Dwight Yoakam keep people enthralled as he tours and records. His huge impact on American music will always be a reminder of how powerful heart, honesty, and sharing a story can be. Yoakam's art keeps showing that real brilliance doesn't belong to one style or age. This is clear from his famous songs, thrilling performances, and leading parts in movies. A brave leader. He is making plans for the future of the country while also protecting its past. People will keep talking about this legend for years to come. In 1992, Dwight Yoakam was in the news for more than just his singing. Getting together with famous actress Sharon Stone made him even more famous. Stone had just recently become famous all over the world for her role in Basic Instinct. She was one of Hollywood's most talked about stars, and her friendship with Kentucky country music star Yoakam who is known for his rockabilly and honky-tonk revival sounds, made the news when they were seen together in public at the 1992 Academy Awards. It was one of the most surprising sightings of two stars together that year. When the movie star and the country singer were seen together on the red carpet, fans and the press talked a lot about how strange their relationship was. The connection didn't last long, but was widely talked about, especially among Yoakam's music fans. During that time, he put out the critically praised album This Time, which had some of his most personal and moving songs. A lot of people thought that Stone or their short relationship inspired the words. Yoakam, on the other hand, quickly shot these ideas down. In conversations, he made it clear that the songs on This Time were not about Stone, even though he loved her very much. He went on to say that they were together for about 5 weeks. Even though it was short, it was a good time in his life that he will never forget. Even though they broke up, they still looked up to each other, and Yoakam's usual modesty kept him out of the trouble that was going on at the time. A lot of people had ties to celebrities in the early 1990s. In 1994, Yoakam met MTV star Karen Duffy at a party, which brought more attention to his love life. A lot of people knew Duffy as an MTV VJ for her charm and energy. She was also becoming well known for writing and performing. They hit it off right away and started dating right away. They quickly became one of the most talked about pairs in pop culture and country music. The connection between Yoakam and Duffy was more stable and private than the one he had with Sharon Stone. They liked being with each other and laughed at each other's jokes. In shots taken at business events, they were often seen together. Duffy said that Yoakam was a very smart and reasonable man, even though he was famous. They were together until 1996. They were friendly when they said goodbye, and they both talk about how much they loved their time together. After many years, Yoakam would finally find love away from the stage. He got married to Emily Joyce in Santa Monica, California, on May 4th, 2020. They had been seeing each other for a while. It was a one-of-a-kind event that they got married during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Public health rules say that because only 10 people showed up, it was a small and personal meeting. The couple decided to put their love and the simplicity of the moment above the fun and glitz of a big party for everyone after dating for more than 10 years. Representatives for Yoakam said the couple had been waiting calmly to get married until it was safe to do so. The wedding was safe. After only a few months, the couple got even better news. Yoakam and Joyce's first kid, a boy, was born on August 16, 2020. When Yoakam's child was born, it was the start of a new part of his life full of joy, family, and being a parent. The news made people all over the world happy. It was a perfect and moving turning point for the artist whose songs had long been about love, loss, and healing. Yoakam saw having a child as a very personal joy and a chance to live a better, more private life after a decade of success and fame in the music business. Fans of both actress Sharon Stone and country singer Dwight Yoakam have been drawn to them for years, and rumors spread that they were dating. The 69-year-old Yoakam has finally talked about what really happened and how important the friendship was to him. When they were together for a short time in the early 1990s, they were one of the most talked about pairs in music and movies. That crazy time of fame, energy, and constant public attention was like when two people just happened to meet at the right time, even if it was only for a short time. According to Yoakam, they were both stars in their own fields when they met for the first time in 1992. People in the country music business knew Yoakam from hits like Guitars, Cadillacs, and 1,000 Miles from Nowhere. Sharon Stone had just become famous all over the world for her part in Basic Instinct. Yoakam said, "I remember thinking she was one of the smartest and most attractive people I'd ever met. She was smart, had a lot of Hollywood glitz, and was from a small town but had traveled the world. You couldn't help but be drawn to her." They quickly became romantically involved, but they mostly met at work events or get-togethers with friends at first. When they walked the red carpet together at the 1992 Academy Awards, it was clear that they were dating. It was in a lot of news stories about that show. The movie star and the country singer were on the covers of almost every magazine. Yoakam said that was silly. In the music business, I was used to getting attention, but this was something else. Everything got bigger when Sharon was there. The cameras, the questions, and the ideas. We were watched everywhere we went. Yoakam says that their time together was pretty normal, even though they were in the press. Instead of going to fancy events, they would often hide out at home or in quiet places, telling stories and listening to music. He told her that, unlike in a Hollywood movie, being seen wasn't the most important thing in our partnership. We talked about faith, art, and everyday life. Sharon got it pretty well. Through all the noise, she was able to find the truth. The bright lights, on the other hand, hurt them. Yoakam's 1993 album this time was said to have had several songs written about Stone. Stone strongly rejected these claims. He said with a laugh, "People love to fill in the blanks. Sometimes my lyrics are like diary notes, but not all the time. Sharon touched me in more ways than just her music. She told me to keep my interest and take risks." They were together for about 5 weeks, but their relationship didn't last long. Yoakam doesn't feel bad about what he did now that he thinks about it. He knows that you value and respect him. He said it wasn't meant to go on forever, but that was fine. People come into your life to teach you something or help you understand something. That was taken care of by Sharon. I changed how I felt about art and fame because of her. I think both of us grew from being with each other. He also talked about how the news could change the truth. There were more crazy stories about anger or fights. Yoakam made it clear that none of that was true. We cared about each other even though our lives were very different. At that time, she was shooting all over the world, while I was always on tour. It didn't work out for us. After many years, the famous country music star only good things to say about Stone. It was a soft voice that said, "Sharon is one of the strongest people I've ever known. Even though her health has been bad and her work has been up and down, she still shines." Some people are really tough, but not many. I feel lucky to have known her. Yoakam smiled when asked if he had ever thought about making up with her. He thought about how, over time, you learn to value people for the part they played in your story. Love is something that I think we will always remember. There was a small spark from another time. What's more important is that they are friends and can remember a laid-back time together. Dwight Yoakam is getting close to 70 years old, but he is still one of the most famous and lasting names in country music. A man known for having a voice that never went out of style and for being honest about life and love. His feelings about Sharon Stone show a real past, not a controversial one. Two driven people who got in touch after a short meeting in the crazy world of fame. "I'll always be grateful for her," he said. "Stories don't need to end in forever to be interesting."